There are people who will leave God 1,000 times to gain friends. There are people who will abort their destiny 1,000 times because of acceptance. Our generation has such an obsession for acceptance. Don't get me wrong. Acceptance is one of the psychological indices that make for fulfillment. I understand. But let me tell you sincerely, if it is destiny, there are many times it's at the end that the vision speaks. But you don't start building at the end. You start building alone, foolishly sometimes. And as your wisdom unfolds, God now honors you. Once upon a time in this Lagos, there were people who were tying water. Is that true? Water, like what you call pure water today. They were tying it in a leather. You still remember? And someone looked and said, no, water is an essential. We can package this in a more intelligent way. Do you know the risk it took? What if they failed? Question, did they fail? The man who builds a hotel with 130 rooms, question, who signed that I will come and sleep in your hotel? The pastor who buys a land and builds a church, did anybody sign a covenant with him that I will guarantee you midweek I am there, church service I am there? Somebody say courage. My dear worshippers, when you write your songs, does anybody give you any guarantee that I will come and sing? Everything you are celebrating today is the other side of courage. The other side of courage. The other side of courage. 7-Up, you know 7-Up that you take? I'm sure you know how the name 7-Up came. 7-Up just means 6 down, 7 up. The man failed 6 times, woefully. He named that product after his results. Today you drink it, but behind what you are drinking is the pain of a man. Look at me. I always wondered why God through the prophet would tell Naaman to go and bath 7 times. God, you are mighty. What is 7? I later found out that there is something about the law of process that was taught in that miracle. Do you know that after Naaman took his bath 6 times, you thought there would be evidence of cure to encourage him? He was still as dirty and scaly and as tattered as that. 5 minutes to your miracle, it will still not look like it. This is the thing about God that you have to understand. Can I tell you this? Go and ask Elijah. He prayed and said, check for me. Nothing. Prayed and said, check for me. Nothing. 7 times. Even the 6th time, nothing. The same way you are seated today, you don't know it's tomorrow that prophecy has written that you will be smiling. As it is right now, nothing is in your life. My deliverer is coming. My deliverer is standing by. My deliverer is coming. My deliverer is standing by. The prophet said, by this time tomorrow. You thought a cloud would suddenly start moving, and the nation of Israel will say, wow, a cloud is forming. After the prophet spoke, I'm sure even him, he went back and said, God, I've spoken. Don't let these people kill me. A woman that can eat her child, is it a prophet she will not eat? By the next day, everybody woke up. Where is that stupid prophet playing with our intelligence in the name of the Lord? You said today, this is that day. They forgot it was God that made the day. 4 lepers. Why sit we here and die? Let's go and die in the place where there is plenty. There's a lesson there. It's better to die in a place of supply than to run away out of fear. The guys were wise. They said, anyway we are going to die, so it's wiser and cheaper. And when they took that step of faith, The Lord amplified them, and it was like the sound of chariots. And they said, Samaria has now gathered allies to come and fight us. When they got there, all they saw was supplies. Can I tell you this? Someone, by this teaching, you are receiving the courage to do something that 4 years ago you wrote it, God told you start, you've been afraid and sitting there. Go and register the company. Oh God, you know the way Nigeria is now. I'm waiting until my uncle, he said he's contesting for election. Woe to him who puts his strength in a man. If God gives you the marching order, sustain the courage and the grace to go. Can I tell you, sometimes you will fail obeying God. Oh, I wish you would not. There are times you will fail obeying God. When you fail obeying God, allow the one who takes the glory to also take the shame. You've always heard me say this: if you are the one taking the shame, you have been taking the glory too. It's a deal. Whoever takes, when you say God take everything, you mean take both the glory and the shame. If on account of my hearing you this shame comes upon me, take responsibility for my obedience. Please sit down. Let me give